Hey guys, so I want to give you a little taste of what it's like living in this 110 square foot camper with my wife. We've been doing it for almost a year and a half now, and we probably got about 4 or 5 months left before we're in the tiny house. So it's February, the middle of February 2017 right now. So we're hoping by the end of the summer we're going to be out of here. But it's been amazing to save some money in order to save up enough to build a tiny house. So let's go on in and I'll give you a little tour. Welcome to our abode. Okay, so here we are. We're in the living room / kitchen. That is where we enter. And you can see that this 110 square feet is pretty tight. But we think it's pretty cozy, and we've been doing really okay. This has been an amazing year and a half trial for us to, if we can make it through this together, I think we can make it through just about anything. So, so we use the kitchen area / living room area as kind of like our everything room. Right now it's set up as like my office. I have an enormous computer screen in this tiny camper. It's kind of ridiculous. But I used to have 2 monitors and I couldn't deal with 2 monitors in here, so this was what we had to do in order for me to do my work. You can see we have some nice decorations for Valentine's Day and some flowers for Valentine's Day and some nice cards up on the wall and my wife's little Norwegian flag here. So, I mean, we've tried to make some changes to make this place feel more like home. We did a bunch of things. We changed the clock. We put it in a fancy clock. We put in these little these aluminum knobs. I think they're aluminum. Whatever they are. Before it was all brass. So we've done that throughout the entire place. Honestly, that brass looks really cheesy in my opinion. So, I mean, it helped a little bit. We still have all this, kind of, run-of-the-mill oak cabinetry, which is not my favorite. It's not awesome, but it is what it is. There's all these, really tacky drapes around. So we just removed those, and we're just using the blinds that came with the place. And a couple throw blankets, couple nicer pillows and stuff, with matching colors over here at the bedspread and stuff. So my wife is really a design person, and she's made some nice little touches here that have made this place feel better. So so I work pretty much, whenever I'm at the computer, I'm sitting here. And my wife has a laptop, and she sits on the couch. She's usually either sitting Indian style with a laptop on her lap. Very rarely does she actually sit straight up and use her laptop at the desk. Although we can do that, I just push my keyboard a little bit, and there's enough space for us both to do that here. Sometimes she'll put some pillows behind her to keep her back straight in order to work there. But she doesn't work at the computer nearly as much as I do. So I got a little bit of a mess in the corner. It's got a lot of stuff that I need to get to every day, office stuff and bills and stuff like that. So we kind of just sanctioned this little area of wires to say, you know what, whatever. That's just the way it's going to look. My wife's side, Tina's side, is much neater and cuter and prettier and all that, obviously. These little heaters on the wall, there's one here, and then we put one over here as well. We can, by the bed, we can probably take those down. We never use them anymore. They're 150 watt heaters, and you can have stuff pushed right up against them, and they're not going to catch fire. They're safe. I got them to keep the place warm before we moved up here, or if we go away. Problem is that when it's really cold, they don't do enough to keep this place warm. In fact, it got down to -20 while we were away once, and the water in the water heater froze and cracked it with those things on. So that didn't work out very well. Okay, so the kitchen. Okay, so we got this, we have this stove which we use every single day. It's a little small, but it works. It's got this, I'm not going to be able to close it all the way, but it's got this thing that closes so we can use it as a surface when we're not cooking. Got a small oven. It is not big, but we could use it all the time to cook stuff. Got this tiny little double sink. This is really annoying. It is not big enough, so basically we make dishes dirty, we wash them immediately. That is our only option. Little dish rack and this little absorbent pad underneath it, and yeah, we mounted a paper towel dispenser right there. We keep all of our dishes for the most part up in here, and we keep some fruit in the corner and vegetables sometimes, tomatoes, the stuff we don't want to put in the fridge, and the cast iron pan goes right here. And then we just have a little bit of everything here. And then we got this neat little, this came with the camper actually, this little cutting board that makes the sink a surface. So that is crucial. We use that every single day, many times a day. Oh yeah, and then we have this tray, which if we ever want to eat in bed or bring something to the bed, we put it on this tray, and it's wide enough where it keeps stuff stable. So that's that. In a camper of 110 square feet, everything has its place, and it has to go right back to that place when you're finished using it, or else it's going to stick out like a sore thumb. So you got to be really, really conscientious about putting your stuff away immediately, like clothes, which I'll get to in a minute. But finishing up in the kitchen, we got silverware and a few other knickknacks, and then we got some cling wrap and aluminum foil, knife sharpener, stuff like that. And then down here we have Tina's giant assortment of napkins and dish towels, and we have this little I'll spare you, it's our compost, and it's got a carbon filter in it, and there aren't that many options for stuff that's already made, plastic. But we found one that fit into this drawer perfectly, so that was perfect, that it fit right there. That carbon filter really does a good job. It does not smell at all, even in the summertime. So between being in this case and then in the drawer, we have no odor from the compost. Though we do take it out probably like in the wintertime, probably like once every 3 days, and in the summertime, every single day, if not more than once a day, out to the big compost bin. We have our garbage in here. It's just a little trash can. We use plastic bags we get from the store, and there's some more like storage back there. I keep like camera and stuff back there, and then back here we keep our water. We always have a gallon of water, drinking water, because we can't drink the water here, and there's some pots and pans and stuff back there. Down here we keep our dustpans and mouse traps and our bag of bags for the garbage. Okay, let's see. Let's go right over here. So we have clothes. This is our closet combined. So we don't keep a lot of clothes in here. We just keep like what we're wearing at the time, and that's really tight. Wish that was a little bit bigger. Got a little vanity, bathroom mirror and stuff, and then we keep like some toiletries and stuff and down there. The bed. This is an interesting little spot. So we have this pillowcase hanging up here because I wake up early in the morning, and then I need to turn on a light, and then this keeps the light from hitting Tina in bed. We have these curtains that she made. So they're made out of this fabric on the outside, but on the inside they have like an insulated blackout material. We keep these up. They're just clipped right to the blinds. We keep those up in the wintertime because these are only single pane glass windows, and it gets cold. And we need to keep that cold away from radiating, keep it from radiating right on us. Can get really cold in this corner otherwise. Right up here, we just keep some more clothes in bins. Yep. And right here, we got the TV. Yeah, you know what? We like technology. We like television. We have awesome internet here. We got Netflix and Hulu and stuff. And you know what? We watch a lot of it at night. That's what we like. So we got this convenient little 24-inch LCD TV mounted right on the cabinet with one of those little jammies. And keep like remote control and some night stuff right on this little tray. And this little tray actually swings out. And the purpose of that was actually for an old school television back in like probably the late 90s or early 2000s. A little 13-inch TV, I think the previous owners had on that. Kind of weird. So heavy. And then in here, let me get out of here. Just more clothes and some other knick-knack stuff. Okay. So the bathroom, yeah, it's tiny. Let me warn you. It is super small. This is it. Got our shower. Here you got a little example of these tacky curtains that were on all the windows originally. And turn on the light. Yeah, little skylight in here with a vent fan. We use this a lot to skylight's open like this. We use that a lot to exhaust, to ventilate the place. Especially in the wintertime when we don't have the windows open, we just vent, especially after we take a shower or something, it gets the moisture out of here, but it also ventilates the entire camper. We use that in conjunction with this range hood fan, which is a direct exhaust to the outside, as you can see there. So between those two things, we can really exchange a lot of air fast. Especially if it ever gets smoky in here or what have you. So yeah, this shower is pretty small. When I get in here, my head is probably, you know, it's probably about like up here, just below this skylight up there. Yeah, it's a little small, but we're not huge people and we've gotten really used to it. This toilet is, I'm not going to go into too many details, but it kind of works like an airplane toilet where you can fill this thing up with water, you know, with one thing, you fill it up and then you can flush the whole thing down into a tank, and then that tank goes into my homemade septic and I have to empty that out every so often. We don't like to put toilet paper in there because it can get clogged. Probably not anymore now that we're using way more water when we flush, but we still put our toilet paper in a waste basket and then throw it away periodically. We probably could start using toilet paper again in the toilet. Maybe we'll do that. Okay, that's the bathroom. Let's see. You got more ventilation in the roof there. And there. Got some leaves from last fall stuck in there. Yeah, so I mean, let me get this thing on a tripod and I can show you, give you some perspective of how big this place is. Okay, so here we are. Imagine two people in here. You're trying to, someone's doing dishes. If like one of us is doing dishes or something, can very easily walk by. But if someone's doing dishes and you need to like get in the fridge, it can be a little bit awkward. If someone is at the bathroom vanity, you know, getting to the bathroom, obviously people we scrunch in like this, and there's a lot of this. I've been in between this vanity and this door more than I can count, and so, you know, getting in and out of bed too. You know, Tina sleeps on the inside, so I have to like scoot out around her, and I think she's just gotten so used to having to pull her legs in. She doesn't even wake up anymore. I think a lot of the time I kind of just tap her legs, and she just instinctually just retracts so I can scoot out of this bed. You know, we're relatively small people and pretty agile, but that is getting really old. I cannot wait to just roll out of bed. That's going to be nice again. But yeah, I mean, we just make it work. We kind of have rules set up where, like, if I'm like doing dishes or washing up or something, you know, she'll stay over here until I'm done, and vice versa. We just kind of like respect each other's space and boundaries, and just find something else to do until we can take our turn and go do that thing in this area. So yeah, that's about it. It's been good enough for us, and you know, if you're thinking about, you know, possibly doing something like this, and you and your partner get along pretty well, you'll probably be okay, like taking into account all the kinds of things that I've said. Should definitely give it a try. It's definitely ready you for all kinds of living situations you might have in the future, that's for sure. Well, I forgot a couple important things. Here's the fridge. I don't know how many cubic feet it is offhand, but it's pretty compact, so we go shopping often. Freezer is just the same. Good enough for the two of us. We keep all of our spices and tea and stuff up here. And there's just more storage up here. Like, just office stuff and kitchen stuff and more pantry stuff. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so as we exit the camper, we immediately see on our left this bench, and this was a strategic buy. You need to have a place to rest stuff. Like when you're going from the car, unloading to the house, you don't want to leave this door open because in the summertime bugs get in, or the cold gets in the winter. So generally, you know, the surface is great. We just, like, groceries or whatever, we load them up here, and then we can just easily pass them. I usually pass them into her through the door. This opens up at the storage bin. This is where we keep, like, our winter jackets, all of our shoes. We don't keep any shoes inside, maybe except for our Crocs. Slip them on, slip them off to get out here. And lots of work clothes. So this is a great, very necessary bin for us. Got to keep all the dirty outside. A little messy right now. Got my bow out. Some tools from replacing that mailbox earlier. Got our barbecue on the deck, which we use a lot. Really great because inside it's a small kitchen. You can't cook that much at the same time, but that's why the barbecue is so clutch every season, because if I need to cook for a bunch of people, or we just want to cook a lot of food that isn't like a crock pot type of thing, straight to the barbecue with that. And here's we got an awning that we leave out pretty much all spring, summer, winter. Sorry, spring, summer, fall for the most part. This is where we put our water, which you have already seen videos on that. Water heater. And you know what? I want to go around and show you guys some other storage that we use around the camper, and where we do with our garbage and stuff. Oh, yeah, before I get to that, let's take a look. I want to show you. This isn't amazing or anything, but we pile up our recycling right there, staging it before we bring it out here to these bins. So recycling goes into these bins. We make multiple trips, you know, sometimes multiple trips a day, bringing stuff out. Just what you got to do. We got a garbage can here with a lid, sealed, very important, out in the woods. Don't want any animals smelling that stuff. This is our propane. We got two 30-pound tanks in there that in the wintertime I refill about once every week and a half with heating. So going around the back side here, just want to show you this cubby. This guy. Keep our printer back here and just a bunch of other little supplies that we don't need too often, like a backup electric heater in case our propane forced air goes out, which it never has. Yeah, this bit, we go back here quite often. Exhaust for the forced air propane. Exhaust, I think, for the fridge. Fridge runs on propane or electric. We never use the propane. We only use electric, so I'm not even sure exactly what that's for. There's that little guy right there. That's a hookup if we had like pressurized water. It's a garden hose fitting, which we don't. It's our electric coming in. That's our little like electric box that I mounted there. That comes from our main cable. That's where our internet comes in. This is our septic stuff. And the other bin I want to show you is back on this side of the camper. And this guy is where we keep our water mainly. Keep our crock pot back here. But also these are all of our, some of them are empty, but we have about 8 of these gallon jugs we go refill for our drinking water at a spring nearby. So that's what that is. And this is under our bed. We keep a bunch of stuff in the back, like sleeping bags, and that's our liquor cabinet back there. Even though I don't even really drink. Okay, yeah, so next stop, our tent. All right, tent time. This guy is where we keep a whole bunch of stuff. This is how we're able to just be in this camper with the minimal amount of things that we have. This we access often. I mean, it is a total disaster in here, don't judge. I mean, mainly because my tools have exploded all over the floor because I need them all the time. And all I have is this job box, and it just everything gets piled up in there and I can't access anything. So I keep a ton of stuff in a wheelbarrow so I can wheel it around the property to where I need it. But this right here, we bought these like steel racks and all of these bins, and all of these bins are labeled. And they have all kinds of stuff that we need to get to, like extra clothes, some camera stuff, office stuff, like toiletries, like pots and pans, things like that we had in our previous apartment that we'll probably end up using a lot of it in the tiny house and leave what's in the camper in the camper. So yeah, just a lot of that stuff. Easily accessible, pull a bin out and get what you need and push the bin right back in. And then we just got some like paintings and special furniture that we've like wrapped really good. Let me keep them in the back here, and more tools. So yeah, that is all of our stuff. Sun's going down, and I need to get a few more rounds of target practice on my bow. So that's it for today, guys. See you later.